As the sun rises, I make my way through the terminal in Abu Dhabi. Excited, a little nervous, and ready for a new adventure. Today, we are flying to Bishkek, the gateway to Kyrgyzstan, a country of wild mountains, ancient nomadic culture, and some of the most untouched landscapes in Central Asia. Kyrgyzstan once lay along the legendary Silk Road, a crossroads where traders, explorers, and storytellers passed for centuries. And now it's my turn to follow that path. As we drive deeper into the mountain region on our way to Alto Cabins, the landscape begins to shift around me. The city noise fades, replaced by the quiet hum of nature and the endless stretch of the Kyrgyz mountains, rugged, untouched, and overwhelmingly beautiful. The road winds through the foothills of the Tian Shan, a mountain range whose name means celestial mountains. For thousands of years, these peaks guided Silk Road traders, nomads, and explorers traveling between China and the Middle East. Today, I'm following that same ancient route, though my journey's a little more comfortable. The air grows cooler as we climb higher, and the pine forests thicken around us, almost like they're preparing to reveal something hidden. And finally, through the trees, I catch the first glimpse of Alto Cabins, a cozy retreat perched against the backdrop of towering peaks. It feels less like checking into a hotel and more like arriving at a sanctuary, a place where adventure meets calm and where tomorrow's stories are already waiting in the mountains around me. Arriving at Alto Cabins feels like stepping into a mountain hideaway. The wooden cabins sit perfectly between tall pines and sweeping views of the Tian Shan peaks, quiet, peaceful, and unbelievably serene. After dropping our bags, we settle in for a late lunch, and it's the perfect way to slow down after the journey. As we eat, I can't help but take in the crisp mountain air and the silence that surrounds the cabin. There's a calmness here that makes time feel slower, almost sacred. And with views like these, even a late lunch becomes an experience. One that reminds me why I came to Kyrgyzstan in the first place, to reconnect with nature, with culture, and with moments just like this. Waking up at Alto Cabins, as I step outside, the air is crisp and cool, carrying that fresh pine scent that only mountain mornings can offer. Fun fact, in Kyrgyz culture, mornings in the mountains are considered sacred, a time of clarity when nomads would plan their journeys and offer thanks for safe travel. Standing here now, I understand why. There's a peaceful energy that settles into everything. From this height, the world feels untouched. Over 90% of Kyrgyzstan is mountains, and moments like this make it easy to see why so many travelers fall in love with this country. The silence, the sky, the endless ridges, they all feel like an invitation to slow down and reconnect. Through the fence, a herd of sheep graze lazily on the dewy grass, their gentle bleats mixing with the crisp mountain air. I step out, taking it all in, the quiet, the endless sky, and the sense of being truly somewhere untouched. Back inside, breakfast is simple but comforting. Fresh bread, creamy cheese, and sweet jam, a perfect taste of Kyrgyz hospitality. Alto Cabins itself is tucked in this peaceful valley, where travelers can slow down and soak in the rhythms of nomadic life that have thrived here for centuries. Did you know Kyrgyzstan is called the Switzerland of Central Asia for its stunning alpine landscapes? I savor the last bites, knowing that soon we'll set off on our next adventure, hearts full and cameras ready, carrying a little piece of the serene morning with us. Our first stop, Ala Archa National Park. As I step into Ala National Park, I feel the mountains embrace me. Towering peaks rise above, their snow-capped tips glinting in the sunlight, while crystal-clear streams weave through the lush valleys. The air is fresh, scented with pine and wildflowers, and the quiet is only broken by birdsong and the rustle of leaves. This park, just an hour from Bishkek, has long been a haven for hikers and nature lovers. Did you know its name, Ala Arka, means motley juniper? The Kyrgyz have treasured these forests for centuries, not just for beauty, but for their spiritual connection to the land. As we stroll through Ala Archa National Park, my daughter instantly makes new friends, local kids running and laughing among the trails. It's moments like these that show the warmth and spirit of Kyrgyz life up close. Here at Alacha National Park, I'm standing beside the rushing Alacha River, its icy water carving a path through the valley. The river begins high in the Kyrgyz Alatu Range, fed by the melting Alach Archa Glacier, water that has traveled through mountains older than civilization itself. The sound is powerful yet calming, echoing the rhythm of nomadic life that has shaped this region for centuries. Locals say these rivers are the veins of Kyrgyzstan, carrying life through the mountains and into the plains below. As I watch the water dance over stones smoothed by time, I'm reminded of how nature here feels both wild and welcoming, an invitation to slow down, breathe, and let the mountains tell their stories. Deep inside Ala Archa National Park, we make our way toward a restaurant, one of the park's most beautiful lookout points. The journey begins with a long stairway rising into the pines, each step carrying me higher into the cool mountain air. The stairs feel endless, but the views unfolding around us make every breath worth it. Below us, the valley stretches wide, carved over thousands of years by glaciers and rivers born from the snow-capped Ala Atu peaks. As we climb higher, the sound of the river fades, replaced by the gentle whisper of wind brushing through the trees. It's a reminder of how alive these mountains are, full of stories, legends, and traditions that have been passed down through Kyrgyz nomadic culture for centuries. Finally reaching the restaurant, we're greeted not just with the promise of warm food, but with one of the best panoramas in the entire park. From up here, the world feels still. The mountains stand proud, the valley glows under the sun, and the journey up the stairs suddenly becomes part of the adventure itself. In moments like this, I remember why I travel: to chase views that take my breath away, to learn from the land, and to find beauty tucked in the most unexpected corners of Kyrgyzstan. Next stop is Chunkerchak Gorge, one of Kyrgyzstan's most breathtaking mountain escapes. Chunkerchak has been a summer pasture for nomadic herders for centuries, and you can still feel that history in the wide open landscapes and the quiet rhythm of nature around us. Walking beside the hill, we can see the depth of the valley below, shaped by ancient glaciers that once passed through here. My daughter skips ahead, excited, while we take a slower pace, soaking in the view and the history layered into this landscape. As we follow the trail, the distant rower guides us forward like a landmark carved in sound. The closer we get, the more the sky bridge rises into view, stretched boldly across the gorge like a thread connecting earth to sky. The hills open up to reveal one of the gorge's hidden gems, a thin waterfall cascading from the cliffs behind the bridge. Reaching the base of the sky bridge, I look up and smile. This is the moment the trail transforms into adventure, where our footsteps leave the hillside and lead us into the heart of Chunkerchak's breathtaking heights.
Here in Chunkerchak Gorge, I step onto the sky bridge with my wife and daughter by my side. The bridge sways gently beneath us as we take our first careful steps, suspended high above one of Kyrgyzstan's most stunning alpine valleys. Behind us, a long waterfall tumbles down the cliffs, its echo mixing with the soft whistle of the mountain wind. It feels like nature is welcoming us with open arms. As we walk further, the metal grates beneath our feet reveal the drop, and my daughter holds my hand a little tighter. My wife laughs, part excitement, part awe, and together we keep moving forward, each step offering a new angle of this incredible landscape. Halfway across, we pause to take it all in. The waterfall in the distance, the rolling green slopes, the endless sky stretching above us. This is Kyrgyzstan at its purest, a land shaped by glaciers, traditions, and stories older than memory. Reaching middle way, I look at my family and smile. Walking the sky bridge isn't just an adventure, it's a moment we'll carry with us forever, a shared memory suspended between earth and sky.
We begin our descent toward the waterfalls of Kyrgyzstan Gorge together with our guide, following a narrow path that hugs the hillside. With every step, the cool mountain breeze carries the scent of pine and the distant roar of water. This gorge sits in a region shaped by ancient glaciers, and you can still feel that raw, untouched power in the landscape around us. As we get closer, mist rises from the falls like a soft veil, sparkling in the sunlight. The cascade drops gracefully down the rocks, a reminder of how alive these mountains truly are. Standing at the base, surrounded by the sound of rushing water and the vastness of the valley, I'm reminded why Kyrgyzstan's nature feels both peaceful and awe-inspiring. Every corner, a story waiting to be felt. Next stop, Kyrgyzstan Ski Resort. At Kyrgyzstan Ski Resort, the slopes are quiet, off-season, peaceful, and completely ours. With the cable car resting for the summer, we find a swing attached to the very cables that carry skiers in winter. As I sit down and push off, the whole valley opens beneath me, rolling green hills where snowdrifts once lay. Kyrgyzstan has long been a winter playground, but in the off-season it reveals a softer side. Echoes of nomadic pastures, cool mountain air, and silence that feels timeless. Swinging high above the gorge, I can almost imagine the rush of winter winds and the hum of the lifts. For now, though, it's just us, the open sky, and a moment suspended between seasons. Kyrgyzstan showing its magic in the simplest, most unexpected ways. As the day winds down, we sit for dinner, sharing warm food and quiet moments. Day 3 takes us deeper into the heart of Kyrgyz history as we travel toward Barana Tower. The landscape shifts from rolling green valleys to wide open plains, and in the distance, the ancient minaret rises like a silent guardian of the past. Standing 25 meters tall today, Barana Tower was once nearly twice its height, built more than 1,000 years ago as part of the Great Silk Road city of Balasagun. As we approach, the stones beneath our feet feel worn by centuries of travelers, merchants, and nomads who passed through this very place. The tower served not only as a minaret, but also as a watchtower, guiding caravans through these vast lands. Climbing the narrow, spiraling stairs inside the tower, I can't help but imagine the world that once lived here. Vibrant markets, distant camel caravans, the mingling of cultures from across Asia. Scattered around are mysterious balls, stone figures carved by early Turkic tribes, believed to honor ancestors and fallen warriors. Standing at the top of Barana Tower feels like stepping into another world.
The wind rushes past me, carrying the scent of open fields and distant mountains. From up here, the entire Chu Valley unfolds, golden plains meeting the rugged silhouette of the Tian Shan Range. It's easy to imagine how this view once mattered. 1,000 years ago, this tower watched over the ancient Silk Road city of Balasagun, guiding traders and travelers through Central Asia.
So, for our last stop, a yurt camp to stay in the night.
As evening falls, we make our way to Kanbipma Yurt Camp, winding through valleys that glow in the sunset. Tonight we'll sleep under the stars, immersed in the nomadic traditions of Kyrgyzstan.
Morning light spills over the hills as we step out to explore. Each yurt here is a modern take on Kyrgyz nomadic life, spacious, comfortable, and beautifully designed, yet still honoring traditional patterns and craftsmanship. These yurts blend tradition with modern comfort, showing how Kyrgyz heritage adapts to today's travelers. Every detail connects us to the culture while offering a touch of luxury. After soaking in this peaceful morning, it's time to sit down and enjoy a hearty, traditional breakfast before another day of adventure begins. As I wander through the camp, I'm surrounded by authentic Kyrgyz yurts, felt-covered circular homes that have sheltered nomads for centuries. Each yurt tells a story, with its hand-woven patterns reflecting a way of life perfectly adapted to these mountains. I can almost feel the generations of families who have lived here, moving with the seasons, connected to nature and tradition. These simple yet ingenious homes are a living testament to Kyrgyz culture and resilience. Watching my daughter laugh and play with the local kids is one of the most heartwarming moments here. In this camp, surrounded by the mountains and traditional yurts, children grow up close to nature, learning the nomadic ways of life while sharing simple joys. So our first stop is Issyk Lake. Today, we arrive at one of Kyrgyzstan's greatest treasures, Issyk Lake. It's the peak of summer, and the moment we step toward the shore, the warm breeze wraps around us like a gentle welcome. The sun glows bright above the mountains, turning the entire lake into a shimmering sheet of turquoise. We find a quiet spot right beside the water, where the sound of soft summer waves blends with distant laughter from families enjoying the season.
I kneel down and dip my hands into the lake. Cool, but pleasant. The perfect relief from the midday heat. That's the magic of Issyk-Kul in summer. Even though it sits high in the mountains, its waters stay warm enough to enjoy, making it one of the most beloved places to escape the heat. Next up, the Charon Canyon. Leaving the shores of Issyk-Kul, we begin our journey toward one of Central Asia's most dramatic natural wonders, Charon Canyon. As the car glides through winding mountain roads, the landscape begins to shift. The blue glow of the lake fades behind us, replaced by rolling hills, rugged cliffs, and valleys carved by time itself. The road feels like a timeline of the Earth's history. Every turn, every ridge revealing layers of ancient stone. And there, far in the distance, we catch our first glimpse of the canyon walls. Tall, fiery, and carved by the Charon River over 12 million years, these formations are older than most civilizations that ever walked this land. Locals call this place the Grand Canyon of Central Asia, but it has its own spirit, wilder, untouched, almost mythical. Each towering pillar tells a story shaped by wind, water, and centuries of shifting seasons. After the long, beautiful drive from Issyk-Kul, we finally arrive at Charon Canyon, a masterpiece carved by nature over 12 million years. The sheer scale of the cliffs steals our breath. Together with other travelers making the climb, we follow the rocky path upward, each step revealing deeper layers of red and gold stone shaped by the ancient Charon River. Reaching the top feels like stepping onto the edge of time. The canyon stretches endlessly, a maze of towering cliffs locals call the Valley of Castles for their fortress-like shapes. Up here, surrounded by people from all around the world, the wind, the view, and the history make us feel connected, small but incredibly alive.
I can see you're skeptical.
And now we've reached the final stop of this incredible journey, Barskoon Waterfall. Tucked deep within the mountains of Kyrgyzstan, this place has always felt like a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. As we drive closer, the sound of rushing water mixes with the wind sweeping through the pines, building up that sense of anticipation you only feel at the end of an unforgettable adventure. Barskoon isn't just a waterfall, it's a symbol of the wild beauty and spirit of Kyrgyzstan, the perfect place to close our journey on a high note.
Just make a move and break the tension. Never let me go.
As we arrive in Jeti Oghuz Valley, road to Barskoon Waterfall, the landscape immediately feels like a story carved in stone. These towering red cliffs, known as the Seven Bulls, are steeped in legend. Locals say they were formed from a tragic tale of love and betrayal, frozen in time by the gods. For centuries, nomads have passed through this valley with their herds, believing the red rock holds protective power. Even today, the air feels sacred, the colors glowing brighter under the summer sun. Standing here, surrounded by history and myth, Jetiogus reminds me how deeply nature and culture intertwine in Kyrgyzstan. We arrive at the starting point of Barskoon Waterfall, and before the hike even begins, the place is already full of surprises. This valley was once a key route on the ancient Silk Road, linking traders from China to the Middle East. And hidden among these pines is a monument to Yuri Gagarin, the first human in space, who rested here after his historic flight. Standing at the foot of the trail, surrounded by fresh mountain air and centuries of stories, the adventure feels instantly alive. The trail to Barskoon Waterfall explodes with energy the moment we hop onto our horses. Instantly, we're moving, hoofs crunching on the path, the mountain air rushing past us, and the forest opening up like a gateway to something epic. The ride is wild and thrilling, weaving through towering pines and sudden clearings where the wind hits us with a burst of freshness. Every step feels faster, every turn more exciting, and the distant roar of the waterfall pushes us forward. It's adventure at full speed, raw, real, and absolutely unforgettable.
And finally, after the ride and the climb, we reach Barskoon Waterfall, and the moment feels unreal. The water crashes down from the cliffs with a power you can feel in your chest, mist rising and cooling the air around us. We stand there, taking it all in, the roar, the wind, the shimmer of sunlight hitting the spray. My family and I step closer, letting the cold droplets hit our hands, laughing as the mountain breeze rushes through the valley. It's one of those rare places where time slows down, and all you can do is breathe, look, and enjoy every second. Taking a quick stop at the souvenir market, picking up a few handcrafted treasures to bring a piece of Kyrgyzstan home with us. And just like that, our journey comes to an end. But the memories, the places, and the moments stay with us until the next adventure calls, waiting just beyond the horizon.